What's going on, guys? Today begins my breakdown of the entire 2025 recruiting class. And today I'm going to get started with Cortez Mills. Took a poll on the page. You all voted, and Cortez Mills won, barely sneaking out by TJ Lateef. So I'm going to dive into first off his stats, and then I'm going to get into a few plays on his film, probably about 5. But stick with me on each one because they're going to kind of be setups for the next play and so on and so forth. So if y'all want more content like this, please drop a like, leave a comment, and thank y'all so much for the support on my last video. A lot of love shown on that, so thank y'all so much. Couldn't do this without y'all. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. All right, so for first thing here, we're going to get into just a little bit of his profile 24/7. Won't spend too much time on this, as you can, kind of search this for yourself. So I don't want to give you too much that you can already look for. But as you can see here, height, about 6'6", 6.5, maybe 6'1". He's listed 165 here, but I did check on a different page, and he is listed at 175. So we'll see the weight, but I believe it is 175 officially. 24/7 Sports Composite has him as a 94 rated 4-star. 24/7 Sports has a 91 rated. And then, of course, you can see right there, top 15 wide receiver, top 17 player in the state of Florida. And then you can see the numbers there as well. Nebraska flipped him from Oklahoma, of course. And just quickly going over his stats, this is his junior season. I was unable to find his senior season stats. They don't seem to be anywhere, but you can see right here, 79 passes for 1,640 yards and 18 touchdowns. So very explosive player. He's going to get a lot of yards, has a huge yards per catch average. And the film's going to show you a little bit of why that is the case. So I'm going to go ahead and slide over the film, and let's just start with the first play here. All right, so when looking at his film, what you'll see all over is his ability to be a vertical threat and stretch the field. However, when we watch those plays, there's a lot more to it than just him running down the field. There are setups to this stuff, and this stuff sets up other routes throughout the game. So I'm going to first go into this little play right here. And the interesting thing about this play and what he does well here is, he changes up the timing and the speed here. So what you're going to see is like I said, it's a vertical fade, and it may look like a simple route, out of the beginning, but there's more to it than just that. So let me let this run just a little bit here so you can see him right here to the bottom of your screen. And I did try to increase my mouse pointer size, but for some reason it won't increase on here. I don't understand why it's not bigger on the screen for y'all. So apologies about that. But like I said, this is going to seem like a simple route. I'm just going to let it run real quick, and then I'm going to take you through it. Okay, now let's go ahead and back this up, and let's kind of run through what happened here. So you're going to see when he comes off the line here, he's going to hit him with a quick hesitation step right there. Okay, now you're going to see this DB right here is going to have a little bit of inside leverage, and probably is going to try to take away that inside from him. This could have been set up, earlier on in the game. And again, I'll go through some of these setups as we go through. I got about 5 plays for y'all. And this is, kind of like a changeup in a fastball to a changeup in baseball. Now, sometimes you do want to slow the route down, right? Because, you change the tempo, and it really slows it down to really slow the DB down as well. But you also want to do it at a very controlled pace. And typically there is a range or a read that he will have, or a receiver will typically have, to know when to go. And so he's going to wait for that opportunity when he sees the right opportunity to just plant that foot and go. So again, slows it down. It's a very controlled pace, almost indicating sometimes it's a shorter route when you kind of do these, these slower paced routes. And then, it takes advantage of them cheating on routes. So slow their tempo, and then explosive steps into the acceleration. So let's go ahead and let this run here. And you're going to see what I'm talking about right there. Just kind of a slow, steady stride, right? And then after that, what he's going to do here is you're going to see him get into his get up, and he's going to explode. Explodes into it. And then at the end of the play, you see tremendous body control, ball skills to go get a contested catch, high points it, and then the strength to fight through the tackle. And then you give me all this energy at the end. I'm there for that. All right. So, excellent there in terms of changing up the pace, changing up the speed of what he does. And that's going to set up stuff later in the film study. So let me go ahead and go to the next one on his film here. And I'm gonna show you a couple more plays through from a. All right, so in this next play, he's facing off against Doral Academy. These are a few plays from his huddle on his senior highlights. There's not a full senior highlights, but they're kind of chopped up into these little bits. So I wanted to go through those. Now, what you're going to see here initially is I'm going to show you just his first like explosive step into this route. Okay, you're going to watch here, and this is kind of the opposite of what he did earlier, right? Instead of just kind of taking his time and really kind of a slow, methodical release into that explosive step, what he's going to do here, you see that inside shade by that defensive back, shaded to the inside shoulder. So what he's going to do is he's going to just attack his leverage and get into him and really turn his hips around. So you see the first explosive step to attack that leverage. And then he's going to put the DB in chase mode early, right? DB's chasing, and you see his speed, right? His speed is going to be very hard to for him to catch up with at that point. And they're in a cover 2 look defensively, and there's going to be a safety over the top that is obviously checking that side to come over and help. And you see him right here trying to come over and help. Now, what happens here that's tremendous is he's going to track the ball perfectly here, and he sees the ball, finds the ball in the air, sees the ball, and adjusts right there. And then another thing that you see there is just his strong hands and, again, body control. So perfect tracking of the ball, great concentration, too, between two defenders, just keeping his focus and keeping his eyes on the ball. Strong hands, body control between two defenders, and runs that out for a touchdown. And I'm going to let that play just one more time for y'all so y'all can see that again. Explosive first step, off the line, releasing out. You see that cover 2, that safety coming over the top. Tremendous body control. Strong hands on that one, and goes in for the touchdown. All right, so let's go ahead and slide into the next play, and it's going to be on this same film here. Now, again, you're going to see a defensive back here. He's going to have a little bit of inside leverage, shaded to the inside, trying to take away that inside from him. Now, we'll let this roll just a little bit. Now, he's going to do kind of almost a hesitation skip with some, foot fire gather steps. And we'll let this play here. So there's kind of the hesitation step, but there's some, it's slower foot, the foot fire gather steps there, but he does a good job of keeping his pad level, and see how square he is, right? He doesn't give an indication of where he's going to go early, because that would sell the route and that defender would be able to shade. Now, this one's actually played pretty well by the defensive back. He stays in a balanced position, and he's, for Cortez, he doesn't get his base too wide. And so that way he's able to break out of this route with that explosive step. Now, if you get a little too wide, you start selling yourself, you get off balance. He doesn't get off balance here. And so let's go ahead and watch this. And again, this DB shaded to the inside, he breaks with them pretty well here. Now you see there, the quarterback puts it where only he can get it. And one of the things that I want you to notice here, too, is watch the balance after this play. Not only just the catch, but you see right here, he's kind of up in the air with his back. A lot of wide receivers will fall down right here. Something I like to pay attention to. But look at the balance. Comes down, keeps his feet. Okay, and we're going to go back through that just a little bit. I'm going to just point out a couple more things here. So on that release, pad level doesn't get too high. That run, pad level doesn't get too high. Again, foot fire gather steps, explosive step, plants and goes. There's no hesitation. It's a plant and go. As soon as the hips change direction, he's changing direction. And again, that body control, the balance at the end, he never plays too fast. And that's very, very important. All right, let's go ahead and move over to the next play on the next team. All right. So on this next play here, it's going to be a little bit of a, change up from the vertical release. And now this is kind of the plays that set up the fade vertical releases, but also show his route running ability throughout the tree, and his moves off the line. And that's one of the most important things as a wide receiver, especially coming out of high school, to have a little bit more of this skill set already developed off the line as a wide receiver is big time, and will help him, see the field very early and often in his early years at Nebraska. Now, one of the things I want you to notice off the line here is it's not a hesitation skip. It's more of a hesitation hop step. And so you see the inside shade by the DB there. So watch his hesitation hop. Boom, right? Hesitation hop step right there. And this allows him to get into his release. Now, he wasn't being jammed by the DB, but if he was jammed, this would help him kind of get out, but he hops forward. A lot of times this hesitation hop will be at the line of scrimmage, which I'll show you in just a second on the next play. I got about 2 more for you. But you're going to see right here, he plants that right leg. And one of the biggest things, again, he doesn't sell which direction he's going to go. He doesn't give a ton of indicators in which direction he's going to go. So he's trying to get that DB leaning outside. And as soon as he gets that defensive back leaning outside, now right now he's in a balanced and explosive position. To explode the way you want, you have to be balanced. And again, some of these will break off into vertical releases or fades later in it. Toes and hips forwards. And, this one is one of the ones where I'm going to show you just kind of that explosive step out of the break and gets enough depth where the quarterback can make a throw. So here's that explosive step. Now watch the DB here. Look where the DB's at. His hips and his eyes are right here. And Cortez is already in his breaking inside on this slant route. Now he comes across, gets enough depth. Those linebackers pull up just a little bit. And then the last thing I want you to see on this is just his field awareness and his ability to change direction. Explosive change of direction, good balance. Watch the finish of this play. He does get tackled, but still, you see it right there for a second. His ability to be aware of the field after he makes the catch, even though he got turned around. And I think that's the biggest thing here, the fact that he did get turned around a little bit catching this ball. Turns around. There's a guy to the top. There's a guy to his right. Boom, tries to stop, but he does a good job of wrapping up his legs. So a pretty good, great release there that allows him to be able to get the separation. And creating separation is something that's going to be huge for him because that's going to set up the deep balls and the explosive plays, which Nebraska is going to be needing. And it's going to be exciting to see how this fares in Dana Holgorsen's offense. Now, this last play is probably my favorite one. And this is going to set up another one. I'm not going to break down the one that's set up. I'm going to break this one down. I'm going to show you the other one, but you'll be able to tell the setup by it. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this a little bit. This one's here, a blocking play. So I'm going to let that run and get up to this one. All right, so right here. Let me pause this for you. Okay, so he's going to be up top to your screen right here. Now, this is going to be against press man. And this is another one of those hesitation hops. And this hesitation hop, though, is typically what you see. It's at the line of scrimmage. It's going to keep you from getting jams because you're going against press release. So if you take a step forward and try it, there's a potential you're going to get jammed. So let's go ahead and let this run first. And I'm going to show you the quick hesitation hop. Boom, right there. Okay, you see that quick little hesitation hop step. And again, doesn't sell it. He wants to try to get the DB leaning a little bit to the inside, but he stays in an explosive balance position and he gets drive off the inside leg to kind of shoot up the field and get into that burst on that outside release. Now, he doesn't over indicate vertical pressure, toes and hips forward, gets, pushes up the field quickly, which is very important. And let's see. So he gets the DB in chase mode right here. So now you have the DB's hips flipped. This safety right here is already shaded to this side. He's going to come over and help on this. So I want you to watch, and he sells this. So the one thing about it, consistent stride length throughout that route, and he's going to break down. So when he breaks down here, he is going to chop his feet, and I'm going to break down the end of this play a little bit. I just want to let it run through and then show you the rest of it. Okay. So again, there it is, consistent stride length. Let me get it back. Sorry. Huddle is hard to navigate here because they don't let me rewind and fast forward. Okay. So again, let's let this run. And one of the things that I want you to notice, it's very important. His pad level stays pretty good throughout most of his routes. He doesn't get his chest too high. He doesn't get up too high, and has good awareness. He's going to get to the sticks here. He doesn't keep too much of a vertical posture. He keeps it just long enough to where, if he comes in with too high of a vertical posture, then he's going to have to kind of round that route out instead of just being able to snap his hips back and be able to beat that defender. And he does a good job of getting enough depth to the sticks to snap his hips around and not come back too far under the sticks. So the DB really is lost on this play. So there's the hesitation hop, that quick explosive step, kind of hand fights, make sure that DB isn't able to get his hands on him and jam him. And you see the release here, consistent stride, boom, breaks down right here. And again, he doesn't snap his head around too quickly. He doesn't keep his vertical posture too high. So that way he's able to quickly flip around. And now this defensive back right here is in no man's land. He's just kind of guessing at this point. And since Cortez is really never off balance, you're going to see him make this catch. Now watch this defensive back. Doesn't really know what to do. You're going to see the post and with his right arm right here and the balance to continue this route. Gets a little bit more upfield and is finally able to be tackled. And the funniest part is this guy right here. This guy doesn't know what the heck just happened. He's like, who is this guy? And he's going to come up on the next play too. So I thought that was pretty funny. All right, so let's go ahead and move on. This will be the last play. And again, this is going to be a setup. What just happened a little bit ago is going to be a setup for this last play. So let me go ahead and get to that. Okay, so this is kind of how those things are set up. So here's at the line again. Press, hesitation, hop step, right? Last time, he did that explosive first step outside, sold the vertical release, and chopped it down. Now watch. The DB is now in a tough position because he's seen multiple of these, hesitation hops and seen multiple routes out of it. So releases upfield, again, just kind of fights the hands off, releases upfield, but now he's going to stay vertical and he's going to get the pass. Okay. And again, this guy down here, not happy. He is not happy. Watch him one more time. I don't know why when I watch film, I notice little things like this, but the guy to the bottom of the screen, he's not happy at all with how this game is going. One more time here. I'm going to let you watch this. And here's our guy right here. Yeah, he's not happy. He is not happy. So that is going to be my film breakdown on Cortez Mills. Now, if you like the pace and kind of how I go through these, let me know in the comments. I try to make these as understandable as possible to layman so you all know what I'm talking about. So if there's anything that I can do to make these a little bit more concise or anything like that, or if you're all good with the length of them, let me know because I'm going to be going through every recruit in this class. So if y'all like what I'm doing here and you want to see more of these, please turn that notification bell on. Subscribe, drop a like, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the comments. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.